Let's talk about the repeating week in the Sterling Ink Complete Planner for 2026. The repeating week occurs because in 11 months out of the year next year, there will be the final week of the month that begins in one month and ends on another by Sunday. And so there is a crossover or 2 months in that final week of the month. And whether that's one day that crosses over or multiple days, that will occur in every month except for May, which will end neatly in the weekly view that Sterling Ink uses, which is Monday through Sunday, and that will fit neatly in that view, as well obviously June, starting the first week of June. However, every other month will have this crossover. And in a planner that's no longer like the other Sterling Ink planners, has each week consecutively, where that wouldn't matter because you're turning each page, each spread has a week to a spread and they continue on from each other, so that crossover doesn't matter. In the complete planner, it does affect the month by month organization. And I think that's easiest to see by looking into the planner. So here I want to start on January 1st because that's when a lot of us use our planners, and I think it's a little less confusing to look at it this way. This first page of the monthly view is very familiar to us, and that's in all the Sterling Ink planners that we're familiar with in the past. We do then have 2 blank grid pages. That is new for this organization, and I find it easiest to remember that there's either 1 or 2 pages before every week. So that every week in this planner will have 1 or 2 pages preceding it, and then there will be 1 or 2 pages before each monthly view. And we'll see that as we move along. This planner card that comes with the planner has a QR code that connects to the Sterling Ink website with ideas on ways to use your planner. They produce content on Catherine, the founder's use of her planner. And of course, there's so much that we can take inspiration from each other. After the blank page, between the month and the blank page, we then have the weekly view. And even though we were in January, this starts in December because January doesn't occur till Thursday. Again, this is not unfamiliar because we see this in the typical Sterling Ink planners and many planners where the week does not start on a Monday. And sometimes we will take license to start our planner on the 29th because it's already set out and we're ready to go. Other people will wait till the Monday and repurpose this page. And so essentially that is what happens month by month, where there's a crossover. However, unlike a new planner where you only see December once, in this repeated page, that page will be appearing twice. And we have to decide whether we're going to use one of those spreads or use the following month's spread, or use a combination of both, the December and then the January, or whichever month it is. I think the summary is that, our brains work in different ways. And so this is going to be something that some people love, which is great if you've got this planner. Some people will hate it, and that's fine because there are many other layouts, and including in Sterling Ink, the default layout is not this one. And then if you're not sure, I think it may largely turn on your use of it. And I'm planning to see how I go and try out different ways. I'm not someone who feels like I have to do the same thing every month. And so I'm kind of excited to test things out. A few things that I've thought about are using this redundant page. I will be memory keeping, so I don't need to see the whole week laid out in front of me. I think if I was using this as a regular planner, I would want to see the week laid out, and then I'd want to keep the other page for some other use. I'm not afraid of blank pages either. I like keeping blank pages and seeing them as an invitation to write at a later time. However, I know some people, if they have a blank page, they don't even want to write in the planner anymore. So like I said, we all feel differently about this. For me personally, I'm thinking about having my kids, they love drawing handprints and footprints. And so I may have them put a hand or a foot on each of the matching months where those pages or sections aren't used. And, some people will even want to glue them together. That might actually give you kind of a thicker area that marks off the end of a month for 11 of those months. So that might be nice. Other people want to use collages. In my current memory keeper, I have a horizontal layout. So I typically write a summary of each day, and then I have a letter that I write to my kids each week at the end of the week. So I might even use it for that at the end of the month. But this will continue on to dailies. There's no gap between the week and the day. So that's the one place in this planner where you carry on, and you see that we're in January. So the week started in December, but we're in January. And so that's why these daily pages start on the 1st of January, which is a Thursday, and carries on till the end of the week, which ended on Sunday the 4th. Then we have those 2 pages again before the next week, and that'll carry on 5th through 11th. Then you get the pages straight away, 5th through 11th for that week. And then, during January, this is going to look very intuitive. Here you have 1 page just to get it to the next weekly on a double page spread. And that's why I think that varies in terms of 1 blank page or 2, because it just depends on how many daily pages are in between getting you to that next weekly. And those pages could be used for many things too. A lot of people are writing lists or keeping track of things during the week or the month that will be easy to access from here, rather than flipping to the back and trying to remember where you kept it. And so it'll give some chronological order to your planner. And then here we come to the last week of January, and as we remember, this week is going to start in January, but by Sunday it's going to be February. So this is going to be a repeated week, and then we'll go straight into that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of January. We're finishing January. It's Saturday. We have a double page blank grid, and then we have February. And so we're February, Sunday the 1st of February. We get another 2-page spread before the new week. And then this is a repeated week because February is here and we're including that. And so some people may want to only use February here and use the other days on the previous month. And other people will say, I'm just planning in that month, and then this is going to be repurposed. So many different things you can do. So February 1st, you'll see there's a blank page because that was Sunday, and that's the end of the week. And so before the week, we have another spread, and there we go. We're back into February now. We've got our week. We're starting back with our days. And I'm hoping that this is making some sense. It took me a little while to get my head around it. I think once you've got it in your hands, here's the blank before the next month. So as I've said, hopefully the community as a whole will find some clever ways to use those duplicative pages. I don't underestimate that there'll be so many creative ideas that are going to come to light, and I'm kind of excited about that opportunity to create. That's something that I think Sterling Ink is great at, leaving enough blank canvas and enough flexibility for us to use our planners in different ways. Thanks for stopping by.